What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new podcast of Rushdown Radio. I'm Michael.
And I'm Anthony.
We're here to talk about the syntax and not a syntax. You know, that part of speech. We're not talking about that. We're talking about actual syntax on video games.
You said this off the mic and you said it again.
I had to.
You didn't.
They needed to hear it.
No one needed to hear that.
Well, they heard it now. So, there are legislations being not passed. They're actually trying to get this passed over
again.
And was it Pennsylvania are trying to pass a bill to have taxes on violent video games to help circumvent gun violence.
Because we all know that when it comes to gun violence, the most violent thing about a gun is a video game.
Yes, because that is the reason why people go and use guns to do heinous things these days, which is completely weird that they're trying to do this. And this isn't the first time this has happened actually either, but they're just trying it again because, you know, you kind of throw darts at things and see what sticks.
Yep, that's what we're doing now. And this is still a thing. Still, I don't know why. This has been 3 weeks and we just...
I wonder what else is in that bill. I feel like this is one, because I know a lot of times with bills, they put a whole bunch of different legislations in one bill, and there might be other stuff in there too. I wonder what else is in there besides just that syntax.
So, what it is, exactly, is House Bill number 109 to impose a 10% tax on adult and mature rated video games sold at retail, in addition to any applicable state and local taxes. Money will go into something called the Digital Protection and School Safety Account and can be used to enhance safety measures in Pennsylvania school districts. So, you know.
That sounds really great and awesome. If I was a parent, I would definitely be down for this.
Yeah. Also, if you were a parent, you'd be good enough to not be buying your kids mature rated games.
Like what? Mortal Kombat 11?
Mortal Kombat 11. What else we got? Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeehaw Skyrim.
Just about any Call of Duty game.
You know, anything with an M on it. You know, that big M in the bottom left corner of the game cartridge.
What?
That big ass M that's mature.
My children are
18
mature.
plus.
I mean, they ain't 18 plus, but they're mature for their age.
You know what? That as a person who is working retail, right?
Uh-huh.
I have always had to be that guy to be like, this is M-rated, right? And every now and again, I get this one parent. That always says to me, "Oh, we know what's in the game, but he's mature for his age, and he understands this isn't real. We've had this talk, all that stuff." And I just gotta go, all right, as long as y'all know, that's fine. Don't be upset when little Timmy's over here thinking he's a pimp. Because y'all let them play Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, it won't have that type of effect on them, would it?
Okay. I mean, I'm being pretty hyperbolic. I mean, I don't think that he'll suddenly become this violent person.
Start slapping girls in class and stuff?
Yeah, but still, you kind of shouldn't be exposing your kids to violent imagery like that.
Yeah, just in general. Just for I think even for early development, they definitely don't want kids being exposed to that so early on when they're still developing their brains and stuff.
Yeah, at the very least, they're going to start thinking that those really, really bad words are okay to say.
Yeah. But it won't have the effect of what they're thinking it will, which will make them want to go out and shoot people, because that's pretty extreme.
Yeah, and I don't think they really think about the effort it would take for a child to go through the process of shooting people sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we have to first get to the very, very first part of how they would do this. They have to obtain a gun. And what we know is that they can't just walk into a store and be like, one gun, please.
As people might think it's easy to do in RPGs, because you can definitely go to any store and just pick up a gun. I mean, remember Persona?
Okay, in Persona 5, those were replica guns that became real in the metaverse.
Okay,
so let's not do that.
We're about 3.
Those are magic guns. Those are magical guns that do magical things.
Oh man, you are good. I'll give you that one. Magic guns, man. Continue. you on other things today, I said.
So, wow, you really made me go there. I didn't want to go there, but he made me. Anywho. Yeah, you can't just go and just get a gun. That's the hardest part of the shooting thing, right? Getting the gun. So how are children getting the gun? Parent usually has the gun.
Mostly it's just parents or people mostly, they know.
Because even the idea that they're going up to find a person with a trench coat in the back alley saying, "Hey kid, guns for sale," like that's pretty unlikely too.
Yeah. That's very unlikely. I don't think a lot of people are just going out, especially for kids. I mean, definitely for like, teenagers and stuff. I'm sure they know where to go to get guns if they really want them.
Yeah. Where they live. Because gang violence and all that.
Yeah, but that's like a whole separate topic. And
we're not quite qualified for that one.
Yeah, we don't have the range to talk about that type of thing. But we do have the range talking about this topic, about this syntax though. It's pretty stupid.
Yeah, because we've been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the conversation before though was ban video games with violent content.
Yeah, isn't why the whole ESRB rating system even started in the first place?
Yeah, they were talking about, hey, Mortal Kombat looks kinda bloody, and while our children don't know kung fu, our children don't know that they don't know kung fu. So we need to stop this. And the ESRB was formed to say, whoa, hold on a minute there. Banning the game means we can't sell the game. So here's a compromise. We'll tell you what games are bad, and you all don't buy the bad games.
Yeah.
And everything was cool until parents started buying the bad games despite the rating that tells them about the bad games.
Because they don't actually look at the rating. They just kind of just buy the game for them. Like, oh, my child needs this game. Well, let me buy it for them. I don't even know what's in the games they're buying a lot of times, too.
Despite the fact that there is a letter rating on the front every time,
and
on the back tells you what that letter rating means
and what each component of the game is, why it's rated that way in the first place.
And they're very deliberate in the words they use. They say blood, violence, sexual violence, profanity,
adult content.
Right? They're very deliberate in the words they use. They want you to know that this stuff ain't for kids.
Yep.
Don't let kids see this stuff.
Don't let kids play this stuff. But still.
But what y'all gonna do?
Parents still say, you know what? Christmas time coming up. I know Timmy wants this new Call of Duty game. Some buy for him. And yeah. I think one of my favorite moments from Call of Duty was Black Ops Part 1 when dudes hit, I think he smashed some glass and put it in dude's mouth and punched him. Epic. Very violent though. Extremely violent.
That was pretty.
That was so good. Whoever thought of that is a deranged person, but it was quite creative.
I mean, that's government interrogation for you.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's many violent moments we could bring up that no child should be watching.
Yeah.
I got a ton in my head coming up right now. I'm not gonna,
just right now with Mortal Kombat 11, that game is like ultra violent. Ooh. I think we talked about that game quite a few times, and it's just woo doggy. Like that game, they keep upping the ante when it comes to violence.
Now, every time they release a new character, my favorite fatality changes.
Oh yeah!
Right now, Johnny Cage's might be my favorite fatality.
Yeah, that was
all time.
It was so creative.
That was so good.
Yeah, shout out to that whole team.
I don't know if that was fourth wall breaking or what. That's like 3.5 wall breaking they did there.
Yeah,
but oof, it was good.
But this whole syntax thing, it should be extended. For me personally, I think video games being singled out is very it doesn't make sense to me because I don't think a lot of kids consume as much video games as they do other medium. Like they don't consume it. Like that's like kids, because every kid's not playing video games. Like a lot of kids do play video games, but like the large quantity of kids in general don't just play video games to the extent they're making it to be.
Busy watching stuff.
Now YouTube is a lawless place.
That they keep on trying to put laws on, but they keep on finding ways to break the law.
Exactly. And then you have TV shows, like Netflix shows, and kids get more access to that stuff much easier than they do video games.
Yeah, because you don't take your password off your iPad, Janet.
Wow, that was pointed. Like you can watch shows like, I don't know, Daredevil, which is completely not for kids.
Yeah, anything Marvel is probably not for kids.
Yeah, especially a lot of them Marvel TV shows on Netflix. Don't watch. Those are not for kids. Like, there are so many movies and TV shows. I mean, even now, watching, Black Lightning on the CW is pretty graphic. Yeah. I was shocked.
Yeah. Maybe they should stop worrying so much about TV making their kids gay and think about how violent it's making them.
Oh, are you trying to make a case that violent television and movies may be the cause of some of these things?
I mean, if we're going to factor in one piece of media, I'm not going to factor out, all of them.
Yeah.
I really feel like as far as consuming media, it's a all or nothing something,
I would agree because they all contribute to this issue that they're making it out to be. It's just that they feel like they single out video games because they have their own bias against it.
Probably also because they can't make all the money that they can from it, The government's hands are not very deep in the pockets of video games.
Not at all. They get so many tax breaks as it is.
Yeah, Activision.
Yikes. Could you imagine if there was a tax on violent movies?
Ooh.
Man.
John Wick wouldn't be doing so hot.
Man. All the movies would get taxed on stuff. Got to pay extra $1.20 for every violent movie you go see.
And to put this in perspective, let's put it in Chicago tax.
Okay.
So our sales tax here is about 10.25, which means before the cent tax, we have a video game that costs about 66 and some change.
Yep.
If this proposed tax were to go through, that's another 10%, which is about $6 off a $60 game. Which means that games now go to $72, $73.
Whoa, it's 10%?
Yes. 10%.
Yikes. I don't want that. We taxed enough here in Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't want this catching on.
And of course, you could say, well, it's only in Pennsylvania. No. It starts
exactly
in Pennsylvania. It starts there. It ripple effects because taxes do that sometimes, most times.
Especially when they make a lot of money too. If this made a lot of money, oh man, look how much money you can make off this.
People think that taxes don't just ripple out and stuff. No. Taxes that work very well will catch fire.
Definitely.
If you let it.
Remember the sweet and beverage tax here? That whole shitstorm?
That was terrible.
It was very terrible.
Man. I will never forget the very day it was over. The day people could buy that stuff again and they were cool. And I remember this guy. I don't know how he got this much money, but he came with a literal cart full of all this stuff. Of all these sodas and beverages. And real talk, I was pretty happy too, because now I can buy my brisk 1 liter drink and not be cool.
Yeah.
They didn't even know how to apply it right. Some drinks were okay, some drinks weren't.
Yeah, it was really sketchy with that. Everything wasn't taxed correctly.
And then nobody knew how to tax alcohol or if it should be excluded or not, because some alcohol has sugar in it.
Yep. That's a lot of alcohol have sugar in it.
Yeah. And then people with link cards were looking down on people who didn't have it.
Because they were
tax. Oh, my drink is what? Let's chop off that tax there.
Yeah.
I don't know why people look down on people with link cards. Man, they don't pay taxes. So
they really don't.
That's, man.
Tax free is always good.
Y'all don't even know.
For those who don't live in Chicago, the sweet beverage tax was basically a way to circumvent people from drinking too many carbonated and overly sugary beverages to, go against obesity and diabetes, blah, blah, blah. So he put a penny per,
1 cent per ounce.
Oh my God. It was so much money. 64 ounces means 64 cents or whatever you buy plus the tax. So yeah, imagine a case full of I don't know, how many cans are in a case? 12?
Some 8, some 12.
So you're saying each one is 12 ounces? Oh God, look at this math I'm trying to do.
Oh, we about to pull up a calculator. We about to do some math right quick.
Here we go. Some math for people who don't live here, don't know about this beverage tax.
So we have 12 ounces. Okay. So that's already 12 cents. And we multiply that by 10. It's $1.20. That don't sound right.
What, $1.20?
Is that an extra $1.20? And that's also including, the sales tax and state tax, all that shit.
Yeah. It just got a lot. It got a lot when you buy like big quantities of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right, math. That's correct, math.
Yeah. It just got ridiculous. Like you're buying, like you just buy like a we had to deal with that with the Arizonas, and those are big.
Yeah, those are 24 ounces, so that's an extra 24 cents.
I used to hate that.
I think a gallon is 124 ounces.
I think so. Just 264 ounces, I think, is a gallon. God, look at
128.
Look at us do math.
So that's 100. That's another $1.28 on top of whatever that was already going to cost you.
Yikes! And those big gallon Arizonas are like almost $3 or $4 by themselves. Yeah.
So the people were pissed.
Oh yeah, very angry.
Now this is also to let you know that this is a city that also has a bag tax.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 cents a bag.
It's 7 cents a bag plus the cost of the bag too. Some places.
Yeah, some places like Aldi that already had like a 10-cent bag tax, whatever. Mm-hmm. They put the 7 cents on top of that, so now you're paying 17 cents for a bag.
Yep, I didn't realize that. I'm like, man, there's a lot of money for this bag.
That tax stuck. That tax stuck, and other cities also have this tax. People may not know, but some other cities do, especially in California.
Yeah, it's just you leave outside of Chicago, you don't have to worry about the bag tax, which is great.
Yeah, that one stuck because while people were pissed, they weren't pissed enough.
Yeah, because people just started leaving. They just found ways to get around it.
Yeah, some people just carry their stuff in their arms. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
That's what I do a lot, or bring a book back with me.
That beverage tax?
That was egregious. That was kind of gross. I mean, I got what they were trying to go for, but that wasn't the way to do it.
And the only other tax that stuck is the tax on digital sales and video games.
Oh, God, that sucks.
Video game services? Yeah. Because it's not on the games themselves, it's on the services. Like, I think PS Plus is affected and stuff like that. That's another 10% they put on top of what used to be taxless.
Boo. They put it on streaming stuff, too.
Yup.
Boo.
So taxes will stick if you let them. Some cities have taxes to pay for a very specific thing that never go, they got built, but that tax never went away.
Yeah.
Because the government, as long as it can make money, will make money.
Exactly. So that's why this context of this sin tax is really important, because we don't want this to become a widespread, like, national tax for stuff. Because it could very much so do that. I don't want that.
No one wants that, because we are mature adults. And we can buy those games as our leisure,
$72 for a game? Jesus Christ, just import it?
Like, some of them import prices looking kind of good right now.
Man, because if they actually pass this bill for like there, and then they start like other places do, like Illinois, like, that's expensive just to buy games.
Then I'm just going to do digital only.
Yeah, definitely have to start doing that.
I'm already going towards that now.
Yeah, nobody feels like going to a store and buying games anymore. Like, I'm just like,
Especially when you're not doing midnight releases of games I'm trying to pick up anyway.
Exactly.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, sir.
I just think that this tax is just a way to pat themselves on the back for something. It's like they're just trying to find ways to deal with gun control without dealing with gun control itself.
Yeah, because everybody wants to talk about gun control and what causes gun violence except the gun.
Yeah.
They want to talk about psychological reasons, environmental reasons, social reasons, all this stuff, but nobody ever wants to talk about the gun.
Well, their basic argument is guns don't kill people, people kill people.
And I hate that.
I know, I do
so
too.
much.
I do too.
It just... fun fact, I think I've told you about this, but my wife's sister, that's just blood sister, so my, what do you call, sister-in-law.
Yeah.
There you go. My sister-in-law from Vegas, she's very conservative in many respects.
Okay.
And somehow we got to talking about gun violence, probably because I was playing Doom, and she just went on this tirade about how school shootings shouldn't justify people taking my guns.
Wow.
Now, that sounds really cruel.
It does.
However, the case I want to make, right, is that no one wants to take your guns. No one wants to say to you personally, hey, those guns you got there, you can't have them. They just want to make it harder for people with dubious intent to get them.
Yep. Or mental illness to get them.
Right. People who aren't mentally fit to own a gun. People who may have some psychological issues like, I don't know, being a sociopath, being schizophrenic, all those things. And this isn't like some kind of an ableist thing, okay? This isn't like something where we don't want, people to have these because, we hate them. No. These are like people who could do damage to others with a gun, which is dangerous, which is what we don't want.
Yeah, I just like we have this conversation every year so much
because people don't get it. People who talk about no gun control, right? They are either gun owners already, which means it really wouldn't affect you. Or there are people who want to have a gun that don't want to go through the red tape of having a gun, which should be something that shouldn't be so easy now anyway.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to go to Walmart and buy a gun. Like, I just don't see the point in having guns be that easily accessible at all. Like,
yeah, there was a point where you could just go and buy ammunition from Walmart. Why was that ever a thing? Why? These guns today are insane.
Yeah.
Like screw the Call of Duty stuff, right? Look up footage on how guns and how powerful they are now.
Yeah, assault rifles ban, which was a thing for a while till they took that whole thing away. Well, a couple of years ago, actually. I forgot which president took that whole ban out. So now people can get assault rifles and stuff.
Which is wonderful, of course.
You don't need
assault rifles are totally something we need.
You don't need army level, military grade weaponry as a civilian. You just don't. There's not going to be a zombie apocalypse. There's not going to be who's coming in your house and be I need to just light them up. No, a handgun will do just fine.
And let's be honest about another thing. If people want to talk about protection, right? People want to talk about what if somebody comes and tries to rob you. Are you telling me that you're going to have an assault rifle tucked under your bed in a situation like that? Because if you are, I think I don't need to be around you.
Yeah.
If you have a handgun under your pillow, all right, I guess.
Because some people have those in their...
that's a little extreme, but...
I mean, some women have that in their purse, so...
Okay, all right, I get that.
Little PP
but
shooter.
Maybe don't sleep on your gun.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't sleep with
maybe
your
have
gun.
it in arm's reach. But an assault rifle, my guy?
Yeah, that's extreme. That's meant to decimate things. That's not meant to shooting okay, he's down. It's meant to destroy.
Yeah. So, maybe let's calm down and think about what people are asking for. People are asking for regulation. We're not saying snatch all the guns away from the civilians.
No.
Okay? Not saying that. People aren't trying to take away your right to bear arms.
That's interpreted so that's not the subject within itself. I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've had way too many shootings. The fact that there were shootings every week or so, mass shootings. They just had one in Aurora. Recently they had one in Aurora. They had one, I think, at Netflix had a shooting incident.
Yep.
There's been way too many. And then, of course, remember that one that happened, we talked about on the show at Jacksonville at the Madden tournament. It's making people's lives a lot more scarier. And that's never a good thing. People want to be able to go out and enjoy their life without feeling like they're in fear of someone coming and taking their life away from them. So I'm definitely not in favor of this syntax. Syntax is stupid. They need to figure out better ways to deal with gun control than try to tax media that's completely secondary to what the actual problem is.
I just... We have this conversation. This should have been a dead conversation.
It really should have been.
We dealt with this already, but it keeps rearing its ugly head. Mostly because Trump was video games are bad. Very, very bad.
God.
Here's a montage of all the bad games. They're very, very, very violent.
God, I hate the way he talks. Ugh,
yeah, because he talks like a fourth grader. He uses words that are really digestible. You know what? As much as I hate the way he speaks, I understand why he speaks that way. Because he speaks to people in such a way that it's easy to interpret and easy to understand and digest. And it's easy to just totally miss the point of what he said.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It goes to the very lowest common denominator person, and they all can understand what he's talking about.
His way of speaking avoids critical thought. That's the best way I have to say it.
That's good. That's actually a pretty accurate like description of the way he speaks, especially when he tweets. His tweets are so sensationalized. Like
he most of his stuff was with exclamation marks and stuff. And you know what? I want to put this out there. If you are a Trump supporter listening to our podcast, welcome. And I don't hate you. I just hate who you're rooting for. And if that's a problem, then I would like to say I'm sorry. But
yeah, we're just not that podcast.
Let's be adults. Let's have opposing opinions. I don't think you're an idiot. I think who you're rooting for is an idiot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I'm not for any of the things that he does, and the people who support him, I question sometimes, but you know, that's fine.
Like, I don't have anything against your life as long as your life isn't about ending my life.
There we go. See, that's good stuff. So we know that they're not going to do a sin tax on movies because the movie industry is way too powerful and they're not going to have that. So they're not going to ever go there. What are you laughing at that?
I'm sorry. I went to his Twitter. There's so many exclamation marks.
Because he has a lot to say. And he has to say it in a way that is sensationalized. He gets it. He understands social media better than most people do. I mean, this is Trump. Trump understands the power of social media. He understands the power of words and how to like phrase things in a way that makes things much more urgent than they actually are.
I will say, I will give him this. His linguistic power is something unrivaled.
Yeah. Like, he can say, like, Kofefe. Remember when that came out?
Yes, and we were just like, that's not a word. But we made it one.
We did. We made it. It became a whole meme. He did that on purpose. Like, all of it's purposely done.
Like, there's some people out here like, man, Trump is really saying some shit. Man, CNN, y'all some lying bastards. Fake news? Alternative facts?
Okay, alternative facts was great.
Whoa, hold on now.
Now that was,
those are facts that were alternative.
I love alternative facts as a phrase. Like that was godlike. Like it takes you gotta.
I'm pretty sure that's a phrase that's used to this day. Baby, I wasn't cheating. I was somewhere else. Those are alternative facts you got right there.
Fake news is like a hashtag.
Honestly, that's what this video game tax is.
Fake news? Yeah.
Fake news.
This is
alternative facts.
This is like complete and utter like garbage to like.
Garbage perpetuated by the media.
Yeah.
By the liars.
The best thing about this is that a lot of people are pushing back on this tax who do live in Pennsylvania, and they're calling in local legislation and telling them we don't want this tax, which is great. The game industry is definitely pushing back on this too, which is good. This is the first time I actually like when the game industry pushes back on something.
Yeah, because they don't want their games being $70-something.
Because it's going to affect their sales.
Yeah, because now they can't say that they've kept their games the same anymore.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, because I'm just going to buy the
digital version.
Well, that too. I'm just going to make sure I buy games that are E for everybody or the games that ain't R-rated.
Because it's going to start with mature.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to start mature.
But then, you know what y'all should do? Just drive to the nearest city outside of Pennsylvania, buy your game, come back home. You shouldn't have to do that, but you could.
Yeah, definitely could. Or just import from somewhere or, buy from, I think, digitally. Well, could you just buy it from like, I don't know, like Target online and then have it shipped or Amazon?
You totally could.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be affected by that. So, unless they use your zip code, like, oh, you're from here? Oh, okay, we gotta give you the local tax for that. Cause they do that too.
Whoops.
They do that too. Cause I've noticed they've done that on Amazon. Like, oh, you from Chicago. I'm like,
whoa, buddy.
Give me that buddy.
Yoink.
So yeah, good job on you guys for pushing back on this legislation. Continue to do so if you live in Pennsylvania, cause they're trying their best to push this.
And so far, it doesn't look like a whole lot's advanced in these past 3 weeks, but you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it could be slipped in some other bill, because that's what happens. They'll slip it in some other bill that's really good.
Different wording or something.
And they're like, oh yeah, it was in this really cool bill about, healthcare, but he slipped in this whole tax about sin tax just to put in there. You didn't see it coming, and then bam, it's a tax. So, do you have any final thoughts on the syntax.
Give it a rest. All right.
It's going to be 2020. It's going to be
Video games are violent. And I like some of that violence. Yeah. I don't want to pay $72 to see Scorpion split someone with a chain.
God tier fatality.
Okay. Give it a rest. Take a nap. Drink some water. And think about it.
Take a nap.
Shit.
All right, guys. What do you think about the syntax? Do you want it? I'm sure if you're listening to this, you probably don't, because you're of sound mind and don't want to spend extra money on things that you now have to spend extra money on. Let us know what you think. Please go to our YouTube, go to iTunes, go to Spotify. We're on Google Play. Leave us a comment. Leave us like a rating. Tell us how great this show was or wasn't. Let us know what you think.
And when you're not doing any of that, check out Trump's Twitter. I mean, like, really, this is amazing.
You over here sitting here, have the audacity to do an ad for Trump's Twitter page?
Just don't follow him. Just look and laugh and leave.
Look, laugh and leave. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next podcast.